Hey guys, welcome back to Home with the Hearsts. Today I'm excited to do this collaboration on 5 foods that you should definitely make at home to save you money. I'm doing this collaboration with A Homesteading Hustle, Simply Living Mama, and Louisiana Cooking and Living. I will have all of their links in the description box below so that you can check out their videos as well. They will be doing the same topic, sharing their 5 favorite foods that they make at home to save you money as well. So all in all, you're getting 20 different recipes and ways to save money when it comes to cooking. Now, saving money isn't everything that I'm about when it comes to cooking. I'm also looking for the best quality and the most nutrient dense foods. And so cooking at home from scratch tends to have a better nutrient dense food than buying prepackaged at the store. So today we're going to start with making our own noodles. All right, so to make your own noodles, you just need flour, salt, and eggs. I have the flour, I have the salt, but I'm out of eggs. So I'm gonna go down here to the chicken coop and see if we can find some. All right, so I was able to find 4 eggs, some peppers. We are still getting some peppers off of our pepper plants, and it's in the middle of November, which is wild to me. It's not typical, but we'll take it. So I know with like Italian people, they like to get their hands in the dough when they're making their pasta to kind of feel the texture and all this stuff. I don't. It's just sticky and it's messy. So my tried and true method is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a dash of salt, maybe like a half a teaspoon, and 2 eggs. So I've got my 1.5 cups of flour and my 2 eggs and my salt in this bowl. I am going to use my KitchenAid mixer. This is not the bowl that you use for a KitchenAid mixer, but I have my sourdough bread like rising in my KitchenAid mixer bowl. So I'm just going to stick this on there with the paddle attachment because I want it to kind of scrape the sides as well. And hopefully this doesn't like go flopping everywhere. Once you have all of your noodles done, then you can cook them. I'm going to set mine aside. I'm going to make an Alfredo sauce, make my chicken and all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna set them to the side a little bit. They are coated well enough with a flour that they're not like gonna stick together. But the way that you cook them is you pick your sauce or your water, whichever your choice is. Tonight I'm going to just boil them in just regular water and then add them into my sauce. But there's been times where I'm making spaghetti and I will put my spaghetti sauce into a pan and then just boil my noodles directly into my spaghetti sauce. So it's up to you how you want to do that, but they need to be boiling for 2 to 3 minutes before they are completely done. The reason why you want to get them pretty thin is because as they boil, they swell just a little bit. And so if you have like a 1/4 inch thick noodle, I mean, you're gonna probably swell half of that more. And so you're gonna have a pretty thick noodle. So depends on your textures and the thickness that you desire on how thin you want to get it, but just know that when you boil them, they do end up swelling a little bit. This is something that my kids have absolutely loved. They loved the making process of them as well as the taste of them, and I rarely buy store-bought noodles anymore. So hopefully this is one that you can start adding into your baking or cooking schedule. So we put a lot of our liquids into mason jars, things that need to be poured out. Also, when we get our milk from our local farm, we pick up our milk in mason jars as well. When the company reached out to me and asked if I would show off their product, I was really excited about this because we've had so much trouble spilling our milk, and it's like liquid gold. And so because they fill it all the way to the top, it's really hard to pour it into another cup without having it spilled. And so this fits wide mouth jars, which is what this is, and we are able to easily pour our milk or whatever is inside out without spilling it. This little top right here flips up, and then you just kind of push it back to lock, and you can see that it is locking in place, and then you just pour. So really it takes one hand, and this is really easy for my kids to use as well. So if you are like me and you use mason jars for everything, then this would probably be a really good tool to have in your cabinet. It comes with two different lids, red and blue, and then also, again, like I said, it comes in wide mouth and regular mouth. So I'm pretty impressed with it, and it has saved us a lot of messes to clean up, and my kids are able to do things more on their own now because they don't have to have me to open up the lid for them because it's too tight, and they are not having to worry about spilling it quite as easy. So I will put the link in the description box below for you guys so that if you want one for yourself, you can grab one. They're pretty inexpensive and a great add into your home. So another thing that you need to quit buying at the store and make it at home to save you some money is vanilla extract. So I've got these 2 jars here of vanilla extract, and they've been in there about 4 to 6 weeks, which is about the time that you want to, is about the minimum time that you want to leave it in there before you use it. The longer you let the vanilla beans sit inside the vodka, the stronger lemon you're gonna get and less of the vodka taste. So this one still smells a lot like vodka, so it's not ready. But like I said, the longer that you let it sit in there, the better it's going to be. To make your vanilla extract, it's very simple. You buy your Madagascar vanilla beans or your Tahitian ones, depending on which one you like, and you buy vodka or some type of alcohol that's 80 proof or higher. I'm pretty sure that that is the proof that needs to be. I've always done 80 proof. So this is just a half gallon of vodka, and we don't even drink here, so it's kind of funny to go through all this stuff. But this is a glass jar of vodka, and you cut open your vanilla beans, and you're going to put 2 to 3 in your 8-ounce jar. So you cut the bean down the center, and then I like to cut mine in half, and I put them in a jar and top them off with vodka. I put a little bit of parchment paper over top of the jar, and then I put my lid on just because I have a metal lid and I don't want that like rust getting in my vanilla. You do need to shake it every now and then to kind of get the vanilla really soaking in there and get all of the little seeds and the insides of the vanilla into the vodka to flavor it very well. But other than that, it's basically you cut them up, pour vodka on them, cover them, put them in a dark place and let them set, let them soak in that flavor. And in about 6 weeks-ish, you should be able to start using it. If you want to let it sit longer for a better vanilla flavor, you can. We tend to go through vanilla pretty quickly, and so I will try to make 2 to 3 jars at a time, and saves me a lot of time, and then also it saves us a lot of money, because if you're going for the real vanilla at the store, a small bottle of vanilla can be anywhere from $7 to $8 for like 4 ounces. We're getting, or 2 ounces I think, but we're getting an 8-ounce jar at least for a fraction of the cost. So the only thing that I had to buy was the vodka and the vanilla beans. And there also have been times that I will just pour vodka over my vanilla beans again. Now the flavor isn't quite as strong, but you're still getting a second serving of vanilla extract with that as well. So it just depends on your flavor. You can play around with it a little bit, and if the flavor is not enough, then you can always just add in some more vanilla beans and let it sit for a little bit longer. That's pretty popular right now is sourdough bread. So this one is definitely cheaper, and it's going to have better and fewer ingredients than at the store. So basically all you need for this bread is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of bread flour, 1 cup of sourdough starter that's active, and then 1.5 to 2 cups of warm water. The reason why I like to do warm water is it kind of gives it a little bit of a boost. You don't want to do the water too hot, because that will kill the yeast in the sourdough starter, and that's not what you want. So just a little bit of warm water to kind of activate that yeast and then get the process going a little bit faster. I have made this dough first thing this morning, and I have let it sit for about 6 hours on my stove with the warmer on in like the warmer section. And so it is ready to be shaped and then put into the oven in a couple of hours. After I mix my dough to begin with, I let it rest for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will knead it again. And I do this, depends on the day, honestly. The more I can do that, like 3 to 5 times, the better this bread seems to do. But sometimes I have only done it once or twice. It still works, still makes your bread, but sometimes it just gets it a little bit fluffier than others. So I'm about to take this bread and shape it, and then put it into a basket, let it rise until I am ready to bake it. Okay, so that is shaped, and I am just putting it in parchment paper, covering it and letting it rise for another hour or so, and then I will bake it at 400 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. Oh, before I put it in the oven, I will score it. I've been kind of getting creative with my designs lately, so it's actually just been a leaf every single time, which is kind of cool. But anywho, so you can score it and then pop it in the oven 40 minutes and it is ready to eat. Now, if you do not do sourdough, or you do not have a sourdough starter, do not let that stop you from making bread. It is perfectly okay to go to the store and buy a yeast packet and make your own bread. It's still cheaper than buying a loaf of bread, and it's still going to be healthier for you than buying the bread at the store. Even the organic breads have stuff in them to keep them on the shelf for longer. So eating fresh is just going to be healthier for you and have fewer ingredients. Today we are going to learn how to save a lot of money by making your own chicken everything. All right, first let's put on our apron because we're gonna be cutting up some stuff. This whole chicken from Aldi's is $2.79 a pound. So you're getting 2 chicken breasts, 2 chicken wings, 2 chicken thighs, 2 chicken legs, a carcass of the bone, and then what little meat is left on the back of the chicken. A chicken breast already cut and packaged for you at the store or at Aldi's comparatively is $5.79 a pound. $5.79 a pound. So a little bit of convenience costs you $3 extra per pound than this. So we could buy 4 of these and get all the chicken breasts off of them and have 2 meals of chicken breasts, 2 meals of chicken thighs, 2 meals of chicken legs, 2 meals of, or an appetizer of chicken wings. You get the point. We are going to be able to save a lot of money by just cutting this up at home. I prefer having my own farm-raised chicken that we grew here on the farm. I have never really like totaled it to see actually how much it costs. To me, it is way better, and we get all of the extra stuff with our chickens, not just the chicken, but we've got heads, feet, organs, and all of the bones. So we are sitting on a landmine when we grow our own chickens. Right now, I do not have all of that. We are going to be raising our own meat chickens again in the spring, but the next best thing is an organic, free-range chicken from Aldi's. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Ew. That was juicy. Clean up on all 3. Inside of here is the organs. We're gonna take this, set it to the side. We just saved some money on dog food. Next, we've got, I'm gonna show you kind of how to make all of these cuts. Do you need me right now? To cut this up, we're definitely going to need a sharp knife. So I've got my knife sharpener here. We got these knives from Webstaurant, I think. And we use these on butchering day. We just keep them really sharp. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the legs first and the thighs. And you can see right here where this is attached, that's where we're gonna make our cut at. And if this part kind of grosses you out, I'm sorry. This is what it's like to work with raw meat. Okay, so we made those cuts. You guys can see, you guys can see better now. Okay, so we've cut these sides right here, and you just kind of have to find your way into between the joints. So if you'll just pull them backwards, the bone will come out on either side, and you're just cutting right there in the middle where that joint is. We've got a lot of skin. We have our chicken thigh and our chicken leg. So if you're not a big skin person, which we like our skin on, definitely on our chicken legs. So next we're going to find again that joint that connects the chicken leg and the thigh, which is right about in here. You just have to kind of do it by feel. Scoot this over lazy. And we're just gonna cut right down to that joint. I'm so sorry for the wonderful sound effects. So now I'm actually just going to tear that skin off. We'll put it into our broth for some good fat. Okay, so skin, we have our chicken thigh and our chicken leg. So we're going to do the other one. And again, we're just finding that joint in there. I'm just going to start cutting right in there. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not a butcher. You are a homemaker trying to save money. Next thing we're going to do is take off the wings. Again, we're just trying to find that joint in there. And cutting right down the middle. This will bring us lots of food, huh? Okay, there's a wing.
Is this a breast?
Nope, that's a chicken thigh.
Oh.
The breast comes right here. Most people don't like the skin on the breast. So you just lift up this flap and you're cutting as close to the chicken as possible. That, and it just kind of comes off like socks.
Except you have to cut it with a sharp knife.
Yeah. So now we have our two breasts, and these are really thick, so that's nice. So we're gonna start, you can see this kind of fat line right here, and the other side will have it too. So you start along the fat line, close to the bones as possible. Okay, so this is all of the meat that you get from one chicken. $2.79 a pound versus $5.79 a pound when you are just buying chicken breasts. I don't really know how much like the chicken legs and all that stuff was, but that's going to be most of your meat. So you're saving $3 a pound, and then you're getting so much more. You've got bones and a little extra meat for bone broth and soup. You've got your chicken legs, chicken thighs, you have wings, breasts, you have some leftover skin to throw into your broth as well, which is going to give you a lot of good extra fat in there. And then you also have some chicken livers. I think the neck is in there, which you can also throw into your broth if you don't have a dog, which would make your bone broth or your chicken broth even more nutrient dense. So you're getting so much more nutrients, so much more meat for a cheaper price by just buying the whole chicken versus prepackaged. Okay, so once all of that is cut up, I'm going to put mine into freezer bags. I have an affiliate link for these out of air bags that have worked great for us. So we're gonna put them in a vacuum sealer, seal them up, and label them, put them in the freezer. Then we're going to make our broth. So this night I was going to make chicken noodle soup. I ended up making my noodles fresh and then popping the chicken carcass as well as my chicken breasts cut up into my soup. And I am just going to take the carcass out once it's done and peel off all of the chicken. So next up is powdered sugar. Now, I have had so many people argue with me over whether or not this is actually powdered sugar or confectioner sugar, whatever. It works the same way for me, and I just make it when I need it. You take the same amount of sugar that you need in powdered sugar and you pour it into a high-powered blender. Now, I added some cornstarch in this one because apparently that's what is in powdered sugar, and you just put it into a high-powered blender and blend it up, and then you can use this just like you would any other powdered sugar. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was very helpful. You got a lot of tips out of this. Be sure to go and subscribe and watch the other videos in this collaboration. If you are new here, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and let me know down in the comment section below which one you're going to try first. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.